G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an Instigating pipe bolt action rifle with bullets exploding for area damage. Now, in terms of raw damage output for a pipe bolt action rifle, this thing is probably only second to a bladed explosive, but you don't have to be almost dead to make full use of that, so if you don't like those bloodied builds, and this thing, being as slow as it is, ain't too great with a bloodied build, then this is pretty much got you covered in terms of damage, and we'll get to why in just a second. But going over the attachments on this, hardened receiver for best damage, that's actually on par with a prime receiver. I'll show you all of this later, so you just gonna have to take my word for it for now. True long barrel and stock for hipfire accuracy for use with our scope. You know, if we're in close quarters and the scope would be too unwieldy, we can just switch to hipfire accuracy and they'll be good enough for us in close quarters. And a suppressor for keeping us nice and hidden. And you believe you me, you really need that suppressor. The last thing you want is to be swarmed by multiple enemies with this thing, because this thing is slower than a Ford Falcon when it comes to taking out lots of enemies that are swarming you. Anyways, so 104 damage, and taking a look at this thing's textures, if you're familiar with the variant in Fallout 4, it contains a lot more rust. This thing definitely looks a lot more cleaner. It still kind of looks like it'll blow up in your face if you try to put rifle bullets through it, but let's hope that doesn't happen. It's got a full condition bar and then some, so I don't think it'll blow up in my face. Also, one thing to note about this weapon is it's also bugged. Like the pipe revolver rifle, or pistol I suppose, depending on which configuration you have it in, and also the meat hook, this thing is actually boosted by perks that aren't actually supposed to boost it. So if I chuck in the regular stuff that should, hang on, that's not bloody mess, hang on. If I chuck on the regular perks that should be boosting this thing's damage, we get 211, which is pretty solid. But if we go ahead and chuck on the gunslinger perks, it actually boosts it even more, you see. Unfortunately, this is going to cripple our stealth usage because it's taking up 9 perks of our total 15. So to fill up, we've got Adrenaline and Escape Artist. And we've got full Chameleon too, so yeah, we'll get to that later. But 338 damage, that's kind of near Gauss Rifle damage, which is strange coming out of a humble pipe bolt action, but again, it's bugged. Alright, let's rip quickly through the receivers because it's basically what we've seen before. As you can tell, prime receiver on par in terms of damage with hardened, but we will just be missing out on a little bit of bonus damage against the toasted fellas. Yep, you've got all of the new prefixes, some calibrated stuff, you've seen it, and aligned, stabilized, and true, and standard. That's pre-stock standard, get it? And yes, if you chuck on a pistol grip, as you can tell, you actually lose that rifleman bonus. So if you use this as a pistol, it works as intended with the gunslinger perks, but there's no reason to use this as a pistol when a rifle can get yourself so much extra damage. Anyways, moving on, medium scope, and you can chuck some recon scopes. The night vision scopes stop shooting my house, super mutants, you can fuck off. But yes, the night vision scopes you'll find with plans, and they're basically the same muzzles as there was in Fallout 4 too. Alright, I'm gonna clear out these guys because they're annoying me. You know how much this property costs me? It cost me like 86 caps to move my shit here. Where are ya? Show yourselves. Oh wait, they're over here. Well, let's see how you deal with this, Mr. Super Mutant Overlord. You'd think it'd do a little bit more damage, but we're just super far out of range and are receiving the damage penalties of it. There we go, he's nice and one-shotted. This has filled me with complete bloodlust for super mutants, so you probably know where I'm going first. Alright, looks like a storm's rolling in, so let's quickly take all of these super mutants out before they can... I was in danger for a second, that's odd. Before the rain can ruin this lovely red dress. Anyway, so it looks like we've got super mutant Primuses, level 59. I think another player was in here before, caused these super mutants to spawn at their respective levels. Nice. And yeah, just caused them to be bugged. But I saw 2,500 damage on there, and let's actually make sure we loot that assault rifle. What do we get? Ooh, not a bad start, eh?
Fucking not bad. 2 seconds in.
And level 59. I'm pretty sure the Super Mutant Warlords are level 68. Yes, I was correct, and I could verify that, so my memory isn't totally shot. So the success criteria for this weapon is basically one-shot everything and don't miss a shot, because as you can tell with the rate of fire, and I've just pumped the, I've cranked the bolt twice there because I mistimed the click to exit that. Yeah, if we can't one-shot these guys, then we're basically buggered. Ah, it's because my headphones are on backwards. That's why I got mixed around. So 514 damage, and I'm just going to chuck these on properly. Alright, let's move on. Now, I'm not making too much use out of this in VATS at the moment, so for argument's sake, I probably could chuck on something like, what's it called, Longshot? Is it Longshot? It might be Longshot. But the one that increases your range when you're scoped in with rifles, because the suppressor does considerably decrease that range, and it's not a good thing if you're not one-shotting super mutants, even at those far ranges. So perhaps the medium scope is slightly overkill on this, but with chest shots at, I guess you could call that medium range, we seem to be dispatching the super mutants pretty quickly there. Hopefully we can pull more... Thanks, Screen Shake. Hopefully we can pull more high-level super mutants once we step inside. Alrighty, so it looks like we've got a mix of overlords and warlords. Alright, looks like we're running high-level blokes this time. So, like I said before, probably going to be hip-firing for the most part because the accuracy is a lot better. And the super mutant warlords, their health pools, I believe, are 700. And Tyr actually brought that to my attention. He did a video on who's the strongest super mutant. He compared super mutants throughout the games, and super mutant warlords in Fallout 76, they're not as strong as their Fallout 4 brothers. They don't make them as tough as they did in the Commonwealth, apparently, or either that or they just reworked the level scaling. But we can pull some lore out of game mechanics, right? That's how it works. But yeah, 700 health. So if we're hitting them for, I don't know, how much are we hitting them for? Just under 900 or just a little bit more than 1k? Around 1k. We'll just say that for argument's sake, without the sneak attack criticals, of course. But if we nail the sneak attack criticals, that's the second time that's happened. At least that one finally found gravity after we pushed it with a little bit of explosive bullet physics. So we're not going to be breaking any Moody's Plaza run records by smashing through these super mutants at a reasonably fast pace. Sorry, Doggo, I kind of had to do that. But it is working for what it is, and part of the reason why it is working so well is because I get all of that extra damage, which I feel kind of cheap for using it like this, because it probably won't be like this forever. That being said, it's been several patches and the meat hook is still like it is. The pipe revolver, I assume, is still like it is, and the pipe bolt action rifle, as evidenced by the video, it's still in this bug state where it gets boosted by perks that it really ought to not do that. And I'm not sure why people aren't complaining about it, probably because the meat hook is so goddamn effective against all things Scorched Beast Queen, and it's just an easy way to kill her. Although I've seen some of the quick kills be done with a Deathclaw Gauntlet. Maybe it's actually the Unstoppable Monster that they use. Hopefully that one gets circulated around again, because for the people who missed out, that's an excellent unarmed weapon. That's definitely a must-have. There might be some still floating around. Also, other things. The new raids come out, and would you like to see me try to complete solo runs on each of my builds? I reckon that'd be decent. I've got plenty of 5mm rounds, so I reckon I could just rock a Vampire's minigun on my strength build character and basically blitz that quickly. I don't have a Vampire's, what's it called, Tesla rifle, actually. That's probably something that I'd want for that. It's just so I can cheese everything, don't have to worry about aiming, can worry about all of the other little objectives they do. Speaking of which, what do I think about that? I think it's a pretty good idea. I kind of wish you'd get more XP from your kills rather than nothing at all, because it does make it feel like you are wasting ammo for rewards that, you know, aren't that great. You don't get a whole lot of caps for it. You get plans to get new stuff. Was that a double kill? Oh, of course it was a double kill. It was a doggo. They're not as strong as regular old super mutants. And despite not having any sneak perks activated, I've had to slow down my playstyle considerably, though. We haven't been managed to get detected like as bad as having all these blokes shoot at us, so I guess that's pretty good. The suppressor doing good work. It'd be nice to also get the sneak attack multipliers, but not with all of this agility taken up by the gunslinger perks. But yeah, I'm kind of formulating plans. I reckon it might be hard on my support build, because that's kind of there to support other players, and I kind of used it to great effect. I'm kind of glad that they made it as difficult as it was, even though some of the stuff feels really cheap. Like, I had no bloody clue that that plant at the end, it spits acid on you. Like, it's so poorly communicated that I just stood under it. I took all this damage, like, oh, what the hell is this? So that was fun. And also the performance in there was incredibly subpar. I might not have the latest graphics drivers when I was doing that live stream because I had to reinstall GeForce Experience and Shadow Play and all of that. So that might have been on my end, but I was talking to the other players there and they said they were having some performance hiccups too. And I got a feeling it's because of all the foliage in there. I don't know where he's running off to. Alright, how many super mutants have we got left to kill in this place? Probably right to start running around now. Oh, of course, these blokes. Close but no cigar, mate. So a pretty cruisy run through here. We're not exactly doing this at Mach pace, but it's getting the job done, so not much I can say other than probably it'd be a lot less effective without all of this extra damage provided by a gunslinger, but I reckon we could still one-shot him if we had the sneak attack multipliers anyway. Okay, so hopefully we might be able to find some ghouls within this horde of goo piles, and it looks like we've pulled something, so yeah. And basically the strategy is going to stay the same, but this time I'm just going to use VATS because if I'm guaranteed that 95% shot, I'm going to take it. It'll allow me to dispatch the ghouls just by the press of a button rather than using my own aim. And I do have quick hands on. That's the first time this thing is actually procced. So yeah, I feel like it's way too inconsistent to be used as a perk to actually make use of it. It's just not effective enough to actually make it work. And it doesn't even work on weapons with only one in the capacity either, which is probably your best bet to actually using the perk, but yeah, it's a shame. The double barrel shotgun doesn't fare too badly off it though. That's probably the best use of it. The stuff with really low ammo capacities. The broadsider, maybe, but who wants to use broadsiders in this game? They're not great. So, going just killing these ghoulies. We are in danger now, which means it's time to run outside because where there's one, there's many. And by many, just the one. Oh wait, here comes another. God, they're hard to track when they're doing this. Despite being zombies with rotted out brains, they can sure fucking sprint faster than Usain Bolt. I mean, look at this. Nice shot. I'm sure the Galactic Empire will start sending me emails shortly. Okay. We might be done here. We'll have one last sleep. If we get that Wendigo, I'm on the hunt for Wendigos at the moment because my screws, they're a little bit low. It would seem that I have no fucks to give because I'm out of screws. But anyways, yeah, not too much to say about this weapon other than, oh, we almost one-shot that guy with basic splash damage. Also, we were in caution that whole time. Excuse me, game. And that knocked us down to about Nerd Rage threshold. So having a look at that damage again, 661 damage. Again, that's Gauss Rifle damage. That's a little bit odd. Kinda not too worried about the presence of goo piles because this thing's slow as fuck anyway. So in a way, it's kind of speeding up the video as we go through our various tests on the weapons. Spawn, we're going to shoot him. Unfortunately, he's not facing us, so this second shot shall be a headshot, and we three-shotted him. No, we didn't. We didn't get the sneak attack critical that time. Alright, so pretty cruisy run there, just suppressed using sneak attack criticals to do the damage. And speaking of Tesla rifles, there you go. Alright, we'll move on. You know, I've just come to realize something throughout my YouTube streaming endeavors. I'm really glad I chose to stream on YouTube and not Twitch. How bad has Twitch been over the past couple of weeks with constant scandals, people acting the fool? It's been pretty bad for Twitch. It's getting a really bad name for itself. It was once the haven for nerds and they could get away from women, but now the women are just there and there's booby streamers everywhere and there's basically no integrity left on it. And then Ninja came in and they fucked him over pretty badly. There's the My Alert Queen. Bang, in the noggin. See if we can't one-shot the Queen rather than... Ooh. See, for some reason we're not getting sneak attack criticals. That third one was though. That's alright. Absolutely no problem in taking out the Queen at all. Just it's basically because we're stealthy enough. We're really being carried by stealth here. If we had this thing without a suppressor, this thing would be a whole lot more painful to use, that's for sure. I don't think I need to emphasize how good stealth is, though. I've done that like 100 times already. I'm not sure whether I actually showed buffs and mutations before, but there's that. And also, chameleon armor. All of these pieces, except for one, have AP regeneration, and none of them have harder to detect, but I mean, that would just be overkill, I think. We seem to be doing just fine without all of that, and looks like we've got some more glowing Mirelurk Kings, which appear to have spawned out of no... Oh, maybe they just cloaked. Interestingly, you can still hit them in VATS if they do that little cloak, so it's not like a stealth field where it throws VATS off. You can die now. Okay, so here's where it might get excruciatingly slow for this particular weapon, because these guys are nothing. They're extremely tanky, and if you get cornered by a few of these guys in the new vault, they can stagger you, they do a lot of damage. It's basically a death sentence. It's pretty rough. So what you should probably do is aim for the noggin. Wouldn't mind a few more points of damage out of what's it called? That was a waste of an instigating effect right there. Out of adrenal reaction. So not the end of the world if we do get hit by it. Also, was that a 360 no-scope attempt? Because you have failed, my man. And if at first you don't succeed, shoot at the exact same spot. That's the lesson for the day. Okay, let's see if we can't actually get an instigating kill out of this. There we go. That's what we want. We want to play to this weapon's strength rather than just blazing away hoping to get carried by explosive damage. Last one. Apparently, Mirelurks have developed the technology needed for segways. So, 3,300. Yeah, that'll probably do it, I reckon. That'll probably net you a few kills here and there, provided you can put that damage on something. But we'll keep on going. We'll see if there's anything here. Nope, there's nothing, but there's an ammo box, so we might be able to get some 308s back. We can hope. We got nothing. Alright, one last throw of the dice for my instigating pipe bolty, and I've missed the first shot. Isn't that nice? There we go. Quickly followed up with one of those bad boys. This is all for gathering some adrenaline before we can actually engage the Scorch Beast. And you know what? We can leave that guy in there. He'll walk out and all of his friends would be dead. I don't think he'll care that much because he's a mindless mushroom zombie. But whatever. So basically we want him to land, and if he does land, that'll be good because we can easily close the gap. Are you actually going to land? See, I'm a Scorch Beast Whisperer. I've got the skills like Steve Irwin, but I can actually do his accent properly. Anyways, moving on. And we've got another Scorch Beast who is sitting in the ground, so I'm going to take this opportunity to, if provided he doesn't move, to knock him once in the noggin. Not quite a one shot, but a decent start. His head is crippled. We can easily follow it up with VATS shots. Ow, that's bone hurting juice. Oh, he's hit me with the twofer, and it's actually killed me. So there you have it. Without stealth, you're basically screwed when it comes to using this thing, because you saw right there how slow it was. And if you miss one of your VATS shots, you are open for so long. For so bloody long, and it was actually able to get killed there. It's true that I could have healed, but I wanted to see how far I could push it with more adrenal reaction damage, but in turn it has costed me dearly, and by dearly I mean it set me back like 50 meters at most. I don't know how that was a miss. That one was definitely a hit, and he seems to have regenerated some of his health. And here we go. At range is when it really suffers, but the suppressor doesn't help that either. Is he going to land? No, he's not going to land. Yeah. Alright, he's on his recharge now. No! Ooh, he's breaking the rules. You're not supposed to attack that quick, Mr. Scorch Beast. They nerfed you for a reason. It was too hard for people to kill you. Too hard for me to kill you, apparently, using this particular weapon. So despite that good stuff... Oh shit, it's a rat. Wait, what? I don't know where he went. Also, can we pull one out of here? That's the question. Oh, we super can. Alright, we'll go for that 2,600. And an extra 1,300 on top of that. That last bullet was dessert. The first one was the main course. And now we're basically hitting things for 3,500. They're gun zombies though. They're squishy bastards. So I think that adequately demonstrates the powers and the drawbacks of this particular weapon. So if you'd like to see... What are you doing up here? Oh shit! It's a rat! Old meme. Anyways, if you'd like to see this particular weapon in your game, hit me up. It's a little bit of a sleeper weapon. If you do decide to pick it up, and you probably want to make it quick because the damage on this probably won't last, but like I said before, the meat hook, the pipe revolver, they've all been broken for a long time, so you might actually get more time to play with this with overpowered damage longer than you think. Thank you very much for watching, guys.